Hello, I'm Jean Beck and I'm a math teacher here at the high school. I would like to share how I got on this journey of becoming an educator. I am from a family of educators. My grandparents were both teachers. My grandfather was a retired superintendent from Mitchell County. My father was a retired principal. So, of course, education was our family business. And as that being our family business, when I graduated high school, I just automatically assumed I needed to go off to college and, become a teacher. Well, I did go off to college, and I had a really good time. But I did learn that college was not for me at that time. So I came back home. I quit college. I got married and settled down and had kids. Well, 2 years after I graduated high school, which I graduated from Mitchell Baker, 2 years after graduating from Mitchell Baker, I became employed by Mitchell Baker. So in 1995, I began working in the guidance office at the high school. I did secretarial work, I did work for the guidance staff, I worked for the athletic department. So all of my high school years, I always thought I'd go off to college and do something. Well, and I did go off to school, but again, it just wasn't my time. So after coming back home, I was working in the high school for about 4 years when a teacher came to me and said, "Jean, you need to go back to school. You need to, you do a great job what you're doing, but you need to go back to school. You're just made to work for children." And that's how I feel. I'm working for my students. But I'm thinking, well, I'll do it when my boys get older. I have 2 boys, and they're both, at that time, were like ages 2 and 3. So as I'm working 40 hours a week with 2 toddlers, Miss Lou Clark, and I'll never forget Miss Lou Clark's the one that came to me and said, "Jean, you need to go back to school." So I was like, well, I'll try. So I started with one class, and after I finished that class, I was like, I really do enjoy school. I really do think I want to be in the classroom and have more contact with students. So as I take that first class, then that first class led to another class, and I will go ahead and tell you, it doesn't matter what time in life you go to school. It's never easy. Life is not easy. You are thrown all kind of roadblocks and hurdles. It's what you do with those roadblocks and hurdles that define who you become. So here I am, I'm going to school 4 nights a week. I have 2 toddlers at home, and I'm working 40 hours a week. And at that time, we did not have online schooling. So I was in class until 8:45 every night. I come home, my boys would already be asleep, but thankfully I had a great village. My mom was great, my husband was great, so I had a village that I could depend on with my children. And as a person in the school system, I know a lot of parents don't have that village that I have. So again, that's another reason I became an educator, because I wanted to be part of your child's village. So as I am going to school, working, I'm thinking, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing time with my children. I'm losing sleep. So I made the decision, and it was very, very difficult, a very hard financial decision. But I ended up quitting my job, giving them notice. After 5 years of working there, I decided I'm going to take Miss Lou Clark's advice. I've quit work, and I went back to school full time. Because her advice was, "Jean, it's hard when they're children, it's hard when they're little, but it will become harder when they're older." And how true that would have been, because my boys were into sports. So we were on the road 24/7 when they got to middle school. Baseball, basketball, football. I don't know if I would have ever been able to go back to school. And the point of the story is, life is hard. There's never going to be an easy time to do anything. But you have to decide what you want to do, and you have to decide, I'm going to do it. Everything takes time. And you don't need to set a time frame. Well, in 1 year, if I don't start school, then I'm just not going to do it. You cannot set that time frame. You have to decide this is what you want in life, and you're going to have to work for it. And regardless of your situation, I had 2 toddlers. I was 21 years old with 2 children and married with a great family. Well, that's not always the case. And I have a granddaughter that was born from a teenage parents. They were 11th graders when they had my granddaughter. I had to step up and be part of her village. You need to find people, may not be family, but your friends can become family. You need to find your village. You need to find your goal in life. And it may take you 10 years to reach that goal. That took someone else 3 or 4 years. But you have to want better for your life. You have to want and accept the help that your village people are willing to give you. So if there's any advice I can leave you, it is to leave you with accept the help offered and do not worry about the time. Your time will come.